How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Nvidia has been the darling of the stock market for the last year and a half, and it's produced insane returns. But if you've just been watching Nvidia, you haven't seen anything yet. You have to be watching Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to make a massive move, and it gives Wall Street something that Nvidia can't. Actually, a couple things. And I want to go through that here today. The moves on Bitcoin are going to be nuts. And if this video makes you bullish, you can check out the link underneath the video to Margex. In case you want to trade cryptocurrencies on leverage, there's a link to this underneath the video. Of course, it's not right for everyone, but you can set it up. There's no KYC. You don't need a VPN, and you can start depositing within a few minutes. There's also a link to CoinW, which also has no KYC. You can buy spot, or you can trade on that platform as well. Now, Bitcoin's made a massive move, and I think people assume now that Wall Street's in the game that they're going to judge Bitcoin correctly. They think, okay, well, we're at $70,000 now. Well, yeah, we're going to have a bull market, but like Wall Street has their stuff together. They're not going to ape in. They're just going to slowly accumulate. No, they're not. They're going to fall in love with Bitcoin. As you can see already, from the dip after the ETFs were approved, we've moved up 75%. 75% in a month and a half. That's an insane return. And a lot of people are watching Nvidia over the last year to date, even just the last 2 months. It's up 81%. So an insane gain. But just today, it lost $250 billion of market cap. And it's funny because not everyone, but people new to the market think that Wall Street really has their stuff together. They know how to value assets. They don't. You can see that from a 12% move in Nvidia, $250 billion wiped out like that without much news. Same thing with Apple. Apple's down 14% from where it peaked just a few months ago. And part of the problem with it is Wall Street can't see the future. They don't know where demand is going to be. Like Apple has a monopoly. That's what Wall Street wants. They want monopolies because then they get incredible margins. They get sticky ecosystems. They can shill products to customers over and over and over again. They don't have to do as much marketing, stuff like that. They love monopolies. Those are the best companies out there, are monopolies. But they still don't like the fact that they don't know what their growth rate is going to be. If you've ever watched one of these companies announce earnings and they don't really give forward guidance, Wall Street hates that. They dump the stock. There are some things that also scare Wall Street. For example, the European Union just issued Apple a $2 billion antitrust fine. And while some people think that's small for Apple, that is 2% of their cash flow. And that's just from the European Union. Like, these are monopolies, but they still get smacked with fines left and right to do what they do. Wall Street is coming into Bitcoin. Some entities understand it a little bit. A lot of them have not been able to start buying, or they start to allocate, but they need to do education for themselves, or they need to get educated themselves, and they also need to give it to their clients. As time goes on, you understand Bitcoin a lot more. I've been in Bitcoin for years, and I'm still learning new things. I'm still learning why certain people like Bitcoin for certain reasons. And one of the things that's so interesting to think about is Wall Street continuously mispricing an asset. That's how you can have Tesla go up 10x in a year, or Nvidia go up 80% in a few months, even after everyone knows exactly where this thing is going. They can still outpace growth. And that's what I think is happening with Bitcoin. They're mispricing, or they just can't shovel enough money. Because if you're BlackRock, you can't come out one day and put $100 billion worth of money in Bitcoin. No, it has to happen over time. People would not be happy with that because they would buy, there'd be a giant jump in the price, and then some people would take profits, and then they would be down. BlackRock would be down automatically from when they bought. Now, what Wall Street does like is certainty. There are a couple problems, though, with stocks. One, you don't know demand sources moving forward. You don't know growth rates. You don't know what governments are going to do. You don't know if the company is going to issue shares or make some stupid move, some kind of stupid PR. It's impossible to understand everything that's going to happen with a company. So that's why, you get some outsized returns compared to something like treasuries. Why do investors invest in treasuries at all when they make obviously a lot less than the stock market does year after year? Well, it's because there's certainty, or at least more certainty, right? Unless the government goes bankrupt or unless they default, they're going to pay that 4 or 5%. Now, what if I told you there's an asset that could get you those higher returns, like stocks or even higher than stocks, but it had the same certainty or even more certainty than a treasury, right? Program scarcity, great technology. You know exactly how much there's going to be because, I mean, let's face it, even the US dollar, you have no idea how much there's going to be. And that is the underlying layer of a treasury. You're getting US dollars back. So what if you knew exactly how much was going to be printed? Well, that certainty would be worth something, right? You would pay more to know exactly what you're going to get, to have something that's super secure. I mean, the Bitcoin network is the most secure network in the world. It uses more power than some countries. And there's no central authority to it. So even though they're a monopoly, they're really a monopoly, the Bitcoin network, or Bitcoin in general. There's no fine, there's no setback, there's no demand problem, right? It only grows, really. Of course, the price does go down against other currencies at certain times, but every currency does that. People just don't really look at it that much, but the US dollar goes down and up against the pound and vice versa. That's bound to happen, especially when you look at something that's only 14 or 15 years old. Now, Wall Street can't price this in yet. They haven't. They don't understand everything yet. But after they start to understand the properties of Bitcoin, they're going to fall in love with it. This is what they want. They just don't know it yet. They're like a patient that comes to a doctor and says, hey, I have this problem, but I don't know how to fix it. The doctor gives them medicine. Bitcoin is going to be the medicine that Wall Street needs, that people need, that the big banks need. And that there's no stopping it. So they're going to fall in love with it. They're going to pile money into it. The market's already mispricing it and has been, right? Yeah, we've seen explosive moves, but what do you call a bear market? It's mispricing Bitcoin's fair value. And we will get to a point where the fair value is actually less than what Bitcoin's priced at the time. But Wall Street will pay up for it, just like you pay for a company that is growing like crazy, just like you pay extra for certainty and you pay extra for a company that has a monopoly. Costco is at 50 price to earnings ratio. Like, you're paying for certainty there, certainty of growth. What happens when they finally get Bitcoin and they can start allocating towards it? They're going to fall in love and the price is going to go to the moon, right? We're going to see days that are more explosive than anything we've seen in the past. Now, keep in mind, there's going to be volatility up and down. Like, there's going to be people mispricing Bitcoin. There's going to be leverage. There's going to be all types of things that shake up and shake down. So be ready. But if you think Nvidia's been nuts so far, get ready because Bitcoin's going to have a very similar, if not even crazier ride. Now, again, if you want to learn more about this, you can hit subscribe. I talk about Bitcoin every single day. If you want to check out Margex so you can start trading cryptocurrencies, there's a link to it underneath the video. I'll put a video on the end screen too that gives you a walkthrough on how you can actually trade on Margex. You can also check out CoinW. I appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.